Howdy there, YouTube. We're here with our live audience, Dave the Cat, in beautiful downtown Lawrence, Kansas, with another episode of Wonder Fair Home Shopping. We come to you live every day around 11:30, just to give the folks at home a sense of something reliable in these uncertain times.
Steady diet of stationery.
Ooh, Paul, you come up with that just now?
Just now.
Wow, it's good. It's not totally accurate because many times we will not be talking about stationery. We will be talking about local politics, tasty food we ate, or the cat.
Well, sad news to report today.
I can't take it.
My tech update, we're still squashed on Instagram.
Oh.
I have no idea what's going on. Meredith thinks it's because she dropped the iPad, but I think it's an Instagram problem. But who knows if we'll ever solve this? It's a real quandary here.
Weird.
Very weird. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a. Anybody knows video on Instagram? Give me a shout because I don't know what's going on here and why we're all squashed down. But anyway, on with the show.
We're slightly more narrow than this. Paul, today is Thursday, and on Thursdays here at Wonder Fair Home Shopping, our somewhat newly formed tradition has been to do a deep dive into a product we sell at Wonder Fair. Sometimes we take requests. Probably I usually don't see the requests.
Yeah. If anybody's got requests, drop them in and we'll take it under consideration for a future installment.
This week, because it's been in the news lately, and folks are, it's a transition season. People might be going back to school. Maybe you've been quarantining away from your normal home and it's time to get back to the zone. I'm hearing a lot about that happening. We're not done with pandemic, folks, but I guess folks is done with pandemic. I don't know. No comment. But the USPS, the United States Postal Service, we love those folks in blue.
We do. Those folks in blue.
Those folks. They've got PIF helmets as part of their uniforms.
You can get a cape.
You can get
if
a
it's
cape.
raining.
They have a lot of fashionable shorts.
Yes.
I like that way before it was hip, the U.S. Postal Service employees were wearing their shorts up to their belly button.
Have you made any progress getting into the USPS employee catalog? I know that's one of your big goals.
Stan told me he could place orders for me.
Wow, that's great. I'm not sure you should say that on air, but you could say I've got an unnamed connection who might be able to hook me up with a cape.
Well, they just have a limited budget they can spend every year, and I feel like they have to spend it on replacing their own duds.
Yes.
So, they just don't have room to give some post office fan a cape. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. I have a post office t-shirt, and I'm happy with that. But the USPS, as everybody's heard if you're on the internet at all, and in a bubble similar to ours, folks are concerned because they're constantly
like any good government institution, they're being run into the ground by the current administration.
Mostly true. There are a lot of challenges right now at the post office. Some of them are future concerns about how the post office might be changed under its current administrator, who is experienced mostly in the paid postage zone. He worked for, was it UPS or something? He's like a shipping guy in the private market. And of course, the USPS is publicly owned, but not publicly financed. The USPS is privately financed by all the nice stamps you buy and letters you send. It's the only public institution that does not receive public funding and has to do it all on their own, which is kind of wild. That was a kind of recent change in the last couple of decades, maybe?
Yeah, in the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah. Oh, that's not recent at all. If it's up to 40, I think
I
it's
don't know.
more
I think it was.
that.
I think it was in the 90s. I guess.
Yeah. I
Which
guess
is
I'm old now.
25, 30 years ago.
Anyway, that was at a time when the USPS was maybe more flush. Maybe it made sense to be privatized because they had more income. But we know that the world changes, and sometimes people need a safety net.
Well, you know what? It was really just part of a conservative, smaller government.
Wow, I just can't get him to tell facts without making them really.
That is the fact. It was part of this
stressful.
movement to privatize government, privatize public services.
Yes,
and
that's
that's
true.
the truth.
That is the truth.
And we're not here for it. We want public institutions, publicly funded and doing their job.
Okay. Well, I don't disagree with Paul. I do think that there are a lot of complicated reasons why the USPS is struggling. And while it's helpful argumentatively to say it's all because of this new postmaster general, the facts are much more
it's
complicated.
not. I'm not saying that.
So just be keeping in mind, everybody, that part of the reason the USPS is backed up is also like suddenly in June, like probably tens of thousands, if not millions of people were suddenly ordering, for example, anti-racist books that were getting shipped media mail all over the country at a rate much higher than before, while the USPS was already pretty extra strapped because lots of folks are doing all their shopping online now and using USPS for last mile delivery. So an already taxed shipping system had a huge sudden influx. So for the month of June and into July, shipping's just going to be slower because people are trying to be better at anti-racism. That's one of the things that's happening people aren't talking about. So just like acknowledge it. It's okay to have your package be slow for a good cause.
Sounds speculative to me, but
it's just like basic numbers and what our mailman said.
Okay. He said people were ordering too many anti-racist books and it was slowing down the mail.
No, they had huge volume, much more than higher than average volume. Plus, they're shutting down some facilities because of coronavirus making its way into some facilities, and it's not safe to keep them open. So they temporarily shut down and they reroute the mail to other places, especially media mail. Media mail is the one that gets shunted first because it's the cheapest to ship. So they guarantee the delivery date the least.
And if you've ever shipped anything media mail, you know it's like 4 to 12 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's just all these things. I just personally want everybody to keep in mind that the world is complex, and our rage economy and anger can often lead us to like really pick the one thing that like the thing to be mad about. But I also think we need to sometimes mitigate our anger by seeing the complexity of the world and all the ways you got to be mad about some things and try to fix them, and other things you got to learn to acknowledge and understand and just let it slip through your hands like sand. Like, oh, my media mail is slow. I'm moving on with my life. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the USPS. Oh no. Probably because I was stump speeching too much. While Paul fixes the live feed, I apologize to the fine folks of YouTube. I've wasted tons of time trying to get to where I want to be today. It's almost like I sent myself media mail and it's going to take an extra 4 days, which is no problem because I finally got there. And what we're featuring on today's deep dive is some stationary throwbacks. Are you ready for me on Instagram yet? Oh no. Should I move on without you? For the YouTube? I'm going to move on without him for the YouTube. Okay. YouTubes, what's up? Stationary throwbacks today because the USPS being privately funded depends upon us to send letters and packages and mail and to be patient and polite when we do it. So here's some nice snail mail supplies that you can use to help support our favorite social institution in the United States, the United States Postal Service. First up, are you trying to sort of like homestead right now where you are like creating the least extra materials in your house and you're just like using up what's in your fridge? Maybe you're using up all the junk mail and flyers you got from like various candidates leading up to the election, or maybe you keep getting Uline catalogs, but you're never gonna order from Uline again because those guys is trash. So maybe get an envelope template. This is a wood template that is laser engraved so that you can use it to repeatably on a sheet of paper about the size of a Uline catalog page, cut out and fold your own envelope to send all of your mail. So you buy this one time because it's sturdy, and then you trace it on the paper, cut it out, fold it up as it describes on the template, use some tape or a glue stick to seal the edges, and you got an envelope made out of anything you want. The template paper you could use, again, you can use newspaper, magazine pages. You could use the back side of every page of your dissertation that they told you had to print out 2 copies of, even though it was going to be online. And you were like, it's 2,000-page dissertation, friends.
Finally putting that dissertation to use.
So just start sending your dissertation one page at a time in the form of an envelope to maybe get in touch with your old classmates or your professor. Anyway, envelope templates are cute AF, and I'm an extremely huge fan. Why don't I own one?
You do. You own however many we currently have in stock.
Probably own about 5. I don't know if this is online, but we'll put it online. It's so cute. It's got a little bird carrying a letter on it, and it's screen printed on the wood.
Boom. Yeah, these are classy.
They're so classy. I love this thing. We can get them in other sizes. I have it purchased for the store right now. We carry it in like a basic greeting card envelope size. So that's fun. Make your own envelopes at home. Next up, once that envelope gets to your door, are any of y'all like me where you feel like a little baby marmoset trying to open your envelope and you can't do it because it's too sticky and you don't even want to touch the sticky place someone's potentially infected tongue went? So y'all gonna need a letter opener. I've been asked if we sell letter openers probably like 6 times since we took over the store 9 years ago. So that's a lot, right? That's a lot?
Yeah.
He's too busy trying to fix the internet. A letter opener is hard to come by this day and age, made new. You can usually find them like maybe businesses used to give them out as like fun souvenirs, but that's not happening anymore. They're all giving out like flash drives now. So if you want a cute letter opener that has that style and is super affordable at just $5, we started carrying the High Tide version of a plastic letter opener. It's your classic blade spade style, but with a little bit of a mid-century design twist. It's called the Comet opener. I guess that means it's wicked fast. I don't know, just slice that envelope open. Did y'all know there are 2 definitive schools of thought on which end of the envelope to open? Paul, did you know? Which envelope side do you open? Top? Side?
Top.
Paul's a topper. I also am a top. Wink. It doesn't really work for us. But kids watching at home, that's all about where you open the envelope. And my dad is a side opener. Have you ever seen him open an envelope? It's wild.
Wow, how do you even get in the side?
I wish I had an example to show you. If you're like me, a marmoset animal without a letter opener handy at home sometimes for no good reason, you kind of like slide your finger in and then like rip it up the top long length of the envelope. My dad wiggles his finger in through the flap and then rips open the short end of the envelope and pulls the letter out lengthwise. Isn't that wild? He's done it his whole life, and it shocks me every time to see him do it. So there's different schools of thought on which side of the envelope to open, and I'm not here to judge. I think they're both hilarious and fun. And either way, you're going to get those good letter guts. So get an envelope opener for $5 if you want to keep your envelope looking clean and tidy after you slice it open. Especially important if you have friends who are sending you homemade envelopes and you don't want them to be trashed after you rip them open the glued flap way. Slicing open the topper side ensures the envelope stays tidy. Is that working yet?
Maybe.
That's weird. I guess it's just me today. Okay, next up for my friends at home, thinking about writing some letters to support the USPS. We brought out, since this is the classic stationery day, just brought a couple of airmail pads, folks. Not because you need to be told about airmail. I know you know, but did you know we have both a lined and a blank version of the airmail pad, and they are slightly different. So airmail paper is like onion skin, very thin and light. The idea back in the day was because mail, the cost to ship might depend upon weight. So if you had a lot to write, you needed your paper to be very, lightweight. This one has lines on it. You can see it flow in the breeze. You can see my hand through it. That's how thin it is. So that's the lined paper version. And if you want it to look like you had a lined paper, but it's blank, this is actually the blank version. It comes with a template lined pad that you can slip underneath your very transparent onion sheet, like so. And then you can use those lines to get perfect text. But when you remove the pad, it's blank. Does that make sense? Anyway, it's a template built into the letter pad. That's the blank one. So blank or lined, you do you, and then pop it in an extremely cute airmail envelope. Magnifique. I mean, they always say via airmail. It's too cute. It doesn't mean you have to send it like over the ocean blue. You can send airmail envelopes domestically. It's no big deal. Of course, it makes you think the letter came from far, far away and is very fun and exotic. So that's just a perk because we can't fly anywhere right now, America. We're trapped. Okay. Thanks, Paul. Next up on our traditional stationery lineup, what should I do next? I'm going to show some greeting cards. Okay, maybe you don't have it in your heart to write a long letter and you're not quite sure what to say. Maybe just send a quick little greeting card. I busted out Show. We sell so many greeting cards. You can come to the store and shop for them yourself, noon to 6, or you can find them on our website. I have a few there. We sell a lot more cards than we have on our e-commerce currently. But this set feels particularly appropriate heading back into the school year. It's a shiny silver embossed "We're in this together" can of sardines. So if you want to write a note to I don't know, a teacher you love that you want to just send them some love and support, saying hey, good luck in the new school year. I hope it goes smoothly. Or maybe you're feeling very alone and you actually want to be close to someone. Maybe send them a sardine card. I think this is seasonally appropriate.
Yeah.
I never used to carry this card in the box of 8 note cards format. I carried it only as singles, but now I think you probably know 8 people to send these to. You know what I'm saying?
Appropriate.
It's a little more affordable. Did you know the back of this card looks like the back of the can of sardines? How cute is that?
That's great. Attention to detail.
I mean, just remember, you're living through historic times, which in every way is bad, except the chances of your stationery note cards being written right now, ending up in the Smithsonian as historic documents, is much higher than average.
Provided you buy something that's truly of the moment from your friends here at Wonder Fair Home Shopping Network.
Think about it. What are future generations of graduate students going to want to include as imagery in their book about the year 2020? This stuff. Someone's going to write a dissertation heuristics of pandemic, 2020, unclear vision. I don't know, that's bad. But, they've got a better subtitle. And they're going to want your nice letter in there. So make sure you donate all your correspondence to university, by the way, so that there can be an archive of all of the correspondence you're writing right now. So grad students have something to do.
Download your emails and dump them on the doorstep of the college.
They don't want your emails. That's the thing. They want your handwritten notes because they're quaint. And I'm not saying academia is picking and choosing things based on as an accurate representation. It's what's going to look good in my dissertation.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of the problem with academia. But I'm not knocking it. It's still better to be educated than not.
You think we'll see for all these famous authors and other historic figures, there's books published of all their letters. Do you think we'll eventually see books published of, all the great emails that our current sort of visionaries have sent? All the great emails. I've gotten a few good emails. I got a great marketing email from a Twitter parody account. That's the best email I've gotten in 3 years. It's a good question. Part of me thinks no, because there's too much volume of emails, so the quality is overall lower. Yeah.
Especially as time has moved on and there are now more and more ways to communicate, so people don't rely on email to one-to-one take the place of correspondence, but probably some emails. I mean, butter emails, am I right?
Yeah. If only.
They're so important.
We gotta go open the store now. We hit our time limit. Did you show this one yet?
I didn't.
Okay, well, let's close on this one.
Okay.
We got one bonus stamp for you. We're always intrigued by a good art stamp. And by art stamp, it's a stamp that won't get your letter mailed, but will look cool on your letter. So we have these lovely little by snail stamps. So you got a little stamp there. They're perforated, ready. They're gummed paper, ready to lick.
Or wipe with water.
Licking's out.
Licking is out. Those are so cute. They just dress up your envelope and make it look wicked cute. Art stamps are a whole genre, which is very fun. And we even have several practitioners of
including our rep in state government, Boog Heiberger, big proponent of the art stamp.
Send Boog a thank you letter for
Yeah.
winning his election again. Go 46. He's our rep. It's great.
Yep. So, we currently have, these are available. I put these in our online store.
Wow,
I think I'm not sure they're live. I'll try and make them live once we're done here. But $3.50 for a set of 4 by snail stamps.
All right. So in review, it's fun to write letters. We got some letter writing supplies. You can come buy them.
Yep. We're here noon to 6 on weekdays. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday.
Sorry my lecture went on so long.
And I apologize for all the Instagram technical difficulties. You know, we had a couple months where there was no problems whatsoever, and now we're in one of those slumps. So thanks, Zuckerberg. See you later, everybody. Take care.